Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Hair Metal Revolution. What we're doing here is our State of the Union, right? This is the real State of the Union. Now, again, I apologize. I said my live shows are on Tuesdays and a Friday, but tomorrow during the live show, I have an appointment, so I moved it today. So beyond that, I'm glad you're here. Every one of you, I appreciate. And what the state of the hair metal nation, I'm going to do this kind of a show once a month, beginning of the new month. And we'll go over some news, maybe what's out there. And this is kind of more of a open forum, right? Open forum. So this is where we could talk about whatever we kind of want. I'll bring up some light news, whatever's out there. And then we go and I'll tell you some channels that I like. We'll kind of play that way. It's kind of a relaxed, kind of a fun, kind of a channel because we love this music, right? And we need to express ourselves and talk about it. I love doing top fives. I love doing all this kind of stuff. But sometimes you also got to have a show where it's about you and I, where we can just talk and have a community and just enjoy each other. That's why I kind of like, oh shit, my friend Danny, I shaved my head Saturday. Bold metal rev for me. Oh boy, Danny Staten from South Carolina shave his head. So, oh man, the world's gonna explode. Danny's a great guy. He's a great guy. So again, we'll go over some news. We'll go whatever there is. But the idea of today's show is you and I, talk about the music that we love. Now, some minor news that we already talked about before, but we'll just, repeat some stuff. Unless you didn't know, Ozzy Osbourne gets a major honor at the 2026 Brit Awards. He got a Lifetime Achievement Award. And of course, the great Ozzy was watching it from the sky, from the clouds. His wife and daughter accepted the award. And, it's I know some people go, yeah, but now it's after the fact. Yeah, but it's still nice when award shows, kind of giving a team award because somebody new might be like, who's Ozzy Osbourne? Right? Who's Ozzy? And it might bring somebody else into the world. At least they're doing this with Ozzy. One of the most saddest things, in my opinion, guys, and I would love to hear your opinion on it. When the great Eddie Van Halen passed away, there wasn't. Yes, he was mentioned at some award shows and stuff, but not like where is Eddie's Lifetime Achievement Award? There was, like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should build a statue out front of Eddie. California, where he's from, the town he's from should be building a huge Eddie Van Halen statue. They did it with Rocky in Philadelphia, right? And Rocky's a make-believe story. So a lot of times I wish Eddie could have all these achievements. Yes. Would there be an Eddie without, Black Sabbath and stuff? Of course, there's always stories can be like that, but I kind of wish Eddie was, I sent you a picture. Oh, snap. Snip me a picture. Wow. Wow, Danny. Their picture, I won't show people. I won't show people because that's up to you. But I love you kind of got that grizzly bear kind of a look. You're in the mountains, you're a badass. Nobody's gonna fuck with you. And guys, hold on. The 2026 nominees did come out today, and that is part of this today. We are going to talk about that, and of course, I'll give you my opinion. You can. I was on a live stream yesterday. I don't have a little Ozzy statue at the Alamo. I don't they have a little Ozzy statue? Do they have a Ozzy statue at the Alamo? Dude, you know what? I'm gonna have to type that in. See, this is why I love doing live shows. Let me see here. Is there an Ozzy statue at the Alamo? This is what it, according to this is what it says, my friend. Let me share screen. This is why I love doing the live show. It says here, no, there is no statue of Ozzy Osbourne at the Alamo. In 1982, heavily intoxicated Ozzy, come on. Was he intoxicated? Come on. Was arrested for urinating on the Alamo. Come on, dude, the man's got to go. You got to go. You got to go. The incident in 1982 was arrested for public intoxication. The aftermath, he was banned from performing in San Antonio for a decade. Jeez, all you do is play in the fucking next town over. The ban was lifted after he donated $10,000 to the daughter of Republic of Texas. Two daughters, okay, you know. Dude, money wins out every single time. Money wins out. Misconception. While often said he had peed on the Alamo itself, he actually targeted the memorial statue nearby. And years later, the Alamo recognized his journey from this act of disrespect to reconciliation with the site, even honoring his after his passing. Yeah, we're going to talk about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I'm going to give you guys my opinion on that. We're gonna trust me. We're gonna get to that, and you know, and that was part of it. You know, so we will get to that. But you know, I get a little hot headed with rock and roll conversation. You know, so we'll get there. All right, if you're a Firehouse fan, they're doing a 2026 tour. 90s hair metal veterans are back on the road 2026, celebrating their classic Love of a Lifetime era with the tour. You know, I never really liked that ballad, but you know, it doesn't matter. So if you're a fan of Firehouse, you know, go see them. I know who Firehouse is. I listened to their album. They actually got some songs on there, got some really good blues mixed to it. And I love it when bands do blues. And we're going to talk about blues rock here in a little bit. Okay. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Okay. So if you are, hold on, I'm trying to, I got too many tabs up here because I wanted to show you guys some things. So, you know that. You know, we all know Mötley Crüe's on tour. I'm going to be seeing them in September this year. You know, there were, you know, Mötley Crüe, one of the things they tried to do is they tried to get some classic bands like RATT to, you know, reform for their tour. They tried to get Skid Row to reform with Sebastian Bach. They wouldn't do it. There's also rumors that they tried to get Cinderella back to tour. Cinderella said no. So I can't tell you what's exactly true and what's not. Dude, if they could have got RATT and Skid Row, holy shit. No disrespect to Tesla Extreme. I saw Tesla back in '88 opening up for Def Leppard during Hysteria, and then they did a concert with Poison, Def Leppard and Poison. I can't remember. I took my daughter to it, so I've seen Tesla several times. Tesla is a fantastic band live. Now Extreme, I've never seen them live. I heard they're great, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know. I've never seen them live. I've seen clips, but sometimes clips, you don't really get that magic capture unless you're there openly live. So Tesla Extreme, they're great opening acts. Would I wish they would have got RATT and Skid Row? Oh my God. I mean, you can see Stephen Pearcy and Warren DeMartini out there. They're touring right now. Unfortunately, those kind of shows just don't come to Fresno. I live in Seattle. Don't come to Seattle. Like Tom Kiefer's band, they don't come up north. It's kind of weird, but a lot of bands don't come up north, and North loves this kind of music. I know up north gets stuck into all they care is about grunge. That is not true at all. I mean, you had great bands before grunge, like Queensryche. You had, Heart, Jimi Hendrix. So, I think a reason now, in my opinion, why some of these bands don't come all the way to Seattle is because in the Midwest, all the cities in different states are so close together. Boom, you're here, you're here, you're here, you're here, you're there, you're there, you're there. You know what I'm talking about? In Seattle, I mean, if you think about it, you talk about major cities, Portland in Oregon, Seattle. You do have Vancouver, Canada, and then on the other side of Washington, Spokane. So you don't have a lot of cities where a band playing mid-size shows might not make that much money because there's a lot more traveling that's involved when you go up to the Northwest. I wish they would come. And of course, we all know that Twisted Sister had to cancel due to some health issues for, Dee Snider, which it sucks in a lot of ways because it just sucks. Mötley Crüe isn't anymore because of them taking everything from Mick Mars. This is what I say, my friend. This is what I say. Listen, you're on tour, and I always tell people this because a lot of people talk about Vince Neil can't sing no more. Listen, if his singing is not up to par, you don't want to go see a show, you don't have to go. Don't go. And if you're upset because they have Johnny Five over Mick Mars, hey, that's fine. You whatever reason it is, you don't have to ever go to any of these shows. And there's no like, you're crazy, you're wrong. That's not the reason why you don't go. You don't want to go. You don't have to go. That's the beautiful thing about it. You don't have to go. I'm going, because it's not just about the music for me. It is about the music. It's about the atmosphere for me. It's being around people who loves this stuff like you do. So, I'm going for the whole atmosphere. I'm going to go to have some beers and stuff. Listen, does Vince Neil sound like he sounds like in the 80s and 90s? No, he doesn't. And if that's a reason why you don't want to see him, hey, listen, these shows cost a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. I have to drive an hour and a half to go to the Mötley Crüe show. So, and yet we all agree Johnny Five is a great guitar player, but because the original lineup is not there and they're all still alive, I get it 100%. It'd be like, Poison does decide to do a 40-year anniversary tour, right? But Ricky Rocket said, you know what? I'm out. I don't want to play drums on this tour. And he's gone. I get it. It's not the real Poison, I get it, right? So, and like you said, Bray Doc, it's there's no disrespect to John Five. You love Mick Mars, and you feel that the band and Mick Mars was done wrong, and that's the reason you don't want to go. I totally support you. You don't have to. So when you spend that much money, hey, it is what it is. I'm going because I just love the atmosphere. And I want to talk to the people. And there's another huge tour that I'm definitely can't go. And of course, we all know. Let me see here. Metallica is now going to be playing the Sphere in Las Vegas. Here's the dates: October 1st, 3rd, 15, 17, 22, on the 24th, 29th, and October 31st. Now, if these all sell out, they might add more. I can't tell you. I'm just going off what it says here. The reason I'm not going, I would love to see Metallica live again, but this is the reason why I can't go. It's because of this. What's going to be the price of a ticket to see them at the Sphere? It says here, currently listed secondary. Now, this is the secondary markets. I don't know because the tickets aren't on sale to the public. It says it's going to be around $700 to $950 for the cheapest seats. If it's second market, then I'm thinking cheap tickets are probably $400 or $500. Some listings have approached $11,000, and 2-night packages are available. Again, I don't know what the ticket prices are set at. If one of you guys know, it's just that's just too much money for me. That's just way too much money. I just can't do it. I just and it's just not. I got to get down to Vegas. I could fly, of course, but I'd rather drive. I like to have my own car. It only takes about, I don't know, a 10-hour drive for me to get to Vegas. Maybe a little longer, 12, 13. God, I drove to Vegas from Washington before. I can't remember how long it took me. But I just can't pay that price. I just can't. And I don't know. And this is not about the crowds that are going to be there. I feel like the hardcore Metallica fans aren't going to be able to afford that themselves. Now, there'll be some. Don't get me wrong. There will be some, but I don't know if I spent that money, am I really going to be surrounded myself with true hardcore Metallica fans? I'm talking about the ones who love Metallica up before the Black Album. Before the Black Album, that's the Metallica I love. They made some good stuff after the Black, but I'm the guy that's between, Kill 'Em All to Master of Puppets. And Justice for All got some good stuff on there. That's the Metallica that I love. And I don't know if I'll be surrounded with those fans at the Sphere because the price is going to price, it's going to price a lot of people out. It's kind of like, my daughter one time, she went to Taylor Swift concert, and I had to take her. Don't bash me for it. And, when I saw the typical crowd that was at her show, you could tell a lot of them were just the rich kids, and the true hardcore fans just can't afford it. And that's what's kind of sad that, that hardcore fans sometimes don't get to go to these shows because they're just so outpriced. But I mean, hey, listen, if you have the money, great. I really love Ride the Lightning through the Black Album. And that's cool. That's great, wow, Metallica tickets in Berlin, Germany, only $298, but in Vegas, it's just it outpriced. I just can't do that. And listen and think about that. You're not going by yourself. You're probably taking somebody with you. So you times that by 2, you're paying up to $1,500. And yes, I know I've never been in the Sphere. I always, one day I would like to see it. I know it's going to be magical with everything around the sky, but I don't know if I'm going to, are they real, true, down the earth Metallica fans, or are they people just riding the hype? And I don't know. Maybe every hardcore Metallica fan can afford that money. Maybe they can. I don't know. Okay. Oh man, but hey, listen. I don't know. I mean, do I wish I could go? Yes, but in all true reality, I can't afford that, people. I can't afford that. Now, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Everything but rock. Okay, first of all, let's just look. If I'm looking, we're all gonna look at the list together. Share the screen. All right. This is who's on the list. The Black Crowes, Jeff Buckley, Mary Carey, Phil Collins, Melissa Etheridge, Lauryn Hill, Billy Idol, NXS, Iron Maiden, Joy Division, New Order, New Edition, Oasis, Pink, Sadie, Shakira, Luther Vandross, Wu-Tang Clan. Now, if I have to pick the 5 people to go on from this list, of course I'm going to pick the Black Crowes. I love the Black Crowes. Iron Maiden, hands down, fucking Iron. First of all, Iron Maiden would not go. They already made that clear, because even Iron Maiden did get in, but we all know people who vote on this stuff don't got good music taste. That Iron Maiden is they've been disrespected, because Iron Maiden, in my opinion, in my fully 100% opinion, should have been in there so many times ago, right? Nothing against Nirvana, right? Nirvana gets in because how they changed music, how they changed a scenery, right? All right, that's how they got in, right? Because they did all this. Iron Maiden did not do that too. Iron Maiden in the early 80s, from the original singer to Dickerson joining the band, they didn't have the media as at the time when the 90s came in, after MTV was already there, bands made it huge and all that. Iron Maiden changed a culture without the press showing the world the culture that they've changed. They've done more for music than anyone. Again, I'm not here to bash Nirvana. I'm not here to bash Foo Fighters. But how the fuck does Foo Fighters get in on a first try when Foo Fighters' fame, no offense to Grohl, he came from Nirvana? Iron Maiden didn't come from no other major bands. They did it all on their own by making great albums and playing it live. It's one of those things that I just don't get it. I truly don't fucking get it. Even they got it, if they get in, they're not coming. It's a slap in the face. Even I don't know. I don't fucking get it. I don't fucking get it. But if I was going to pick the 5 people, the Black Crowes, Iron Maiden, Billy Idol, which technically Billy Idol should have been in there long time ago. I would actually NXS, because they were a live performance band from Australia. And I would put in Phil Collins. Phil Collins, all the way from Genesis to solo. I mean, Phil Collins. I mean, if I'm going off this list, right? Those were the 5 bands. But we all know Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is not really rock. And listen, if they don't want to be, they want to be world music, take the rock and roll name off, call it the Music Hall of Fame, or call it World Music Hall of Fame. Get rid of the word rock and roll. Let another company buy the word so they can really have a true Hall of Fame that is truly rock and roll. And listen, I'm not here to bash Mary Carey, Pink, Shakira, Luther Vandross, Sadie. In their genre, they're great music in their genre. People love them. Lauryn Hill. But for the word rock and roll, no. I'm sorry. New Order is way more rock than the names I just mentioned. You know that and we all know like certain bands, we all know certain bands that we should be in there. And I remember I brought this up on another channel. Wrote in the chat like a band that helped change the look of an era. And I said Mötley Crüe changed a look of an era that helped took what, Quiet Riot got the album to be number one, right? And then like then bands like Mötley Crüe really took it, right? And explode the Sunset Strip to a whole new level. But why is it Quiet Riot or Mötley Crüe in there? I'm being dead serious. I'm being dead serious. Did you see my last comment? No, I'm sorry. I was looking at, okay. On April 29th, Alice Cooper is coming back to Springfield, South Carolina. No, tickets are only $56 freaking dollars. And you know what's beautiful about that, Danny? About the $56? You can actually see the band. You know what I mean? You're paying less and you can actually see the stage. Unless he's playing an arena, but I don't think he has been playing an arena. I think he plays the mid-sized places. That. Van Halen somehow made it through the grunge era. Well, yeah, there's certain bands that made it through. I mean, you ain't gonna stop Van Halen, AC/DC. If Guns N' Roses were still making albums, after Use Your Illusion 2s and stuff, it's just some bands could get it, but like if you're gonna tell me that Bon Jovi should have got in there before Mötley Crüe, I say you're fucking crazy. I'm serious. RATT should have been in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in them before Bon Jovi. Those bands albums exploded kind of, nothing against Bon Jovi. They didn't explode until the third album, Slippery When Wet, was helped by, opening up for RATT and Mötley Crüe and a lot of those bands. But they like the good boys, right? Bon Jovi's cute. John's cute. He's a cute guy. New Jersey, he's more serious, So that was like an easy no-brainer to satisfy what they thought, the rock crowd. But you haven't satisfied no one. And one other name that should have been on there, that's not on there, is Ronnie James Dio. Ronnie James Dio, his tribute all the way back from Elf to Rainbow to Black Sabbath to his solo albums, sold millions of copies all through different generation, right? Dio started singing from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, of course, till he passed away. How do you not have Dio in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that had one of the best live voices you can ever hear? Seriously, how is that possible? And how do the people who vote put this? I just can't understand it. I mean, take it back. Listen, we all love Randy Rhoads. They backdoor Randy Rhoads into the Hall of Fame, right? For his work he did with Quiet Riot and with Ozzy with 2 albums, right? You backdoor Randy Rhoads in, which Randy Rhoads should be in the Hall of Fame too. You backdoor Randy Rhoads for mostly for the 2 albums he made with Ozzy, right? Not Bark at the Moon. I'm sorry about that. Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman. Where Dio from Elf albums with Rainbow, albums with Black Sabbath. And then after all those bands, you had a successful solo career? I don't know. I don't get it. It kind of makes you want to pull out your hair. And you can't backdoor a legend like Dio in there? Dio today still influence singers out there. Knowing how this little man, this little guy from Cortland, New York, where my wife's actually is from, Cortland, New York. They got a street sign that says Dio, which I think it's on this channel somewhere. There's a picture of me on this channel on the post. But Dio, it's a joke. It's a flat out freaking joke. I don't know. I just get so emotional because you titled it Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In the beginning, you did let rock, but it's almost like, just like how our government is, it's all about the money, right? It's all about the money and greed. It's all billionaires, millionaires, all fucking greed. It's all fucking greed. That they, what's right, they don't care what's wrong to right, what's right to wrong. They don't care. And what brings in more money, right? Pink's going to bring in way more money if you nominate Dio, right? I mean, it's a sad thing. It's a very, very sad thing. But it is what it is. All right, guys. I want to tell you guys about a couple channels, right? When we do the State of the Union, it's about us talking about greatness of other good channels that does good music. I'm gonna share you this channel here, Hairband Basement. You want to listen to a guy who really loves his music, and what I love is when he makes a video, he really puts time in it where I can't not cheat. I'm doing it live. So, I just click live and I just talk and we'll just do it, right? But he takes time, he records, he puts stuff in it, and it's a great freaking channel, and he's real, right? He just came out with the video 3 hours ago that I'm in it, where hair metal got the blues. And if you give a chance, let me put this link in the chat. I had a great time with him, and he was also on my channel. We did a top 5 Ozzy albums, and Jay, that guy Jay, he's just such a great guy. I love hearing the reason why he loves certain music and bands and songs. It's just fantastic. Here, hold on a second. Here we go.
Up until 84, well, even 84, they were on one version of the album. I had to pick something from Whitesnake in their early days. I picked from their, well, at the time it was an EP, Snake Bite, and the lead-off track from that.
And guys, honestly, when you get a chance, watch that video. Not just because I'm in it, not just because I'm in it, because if you don't know the group, if you don't know him, if you never heard of his channel, hey, it's a great opportunity. It's a great video to start to get into his channel, because I am there too with Jay. And then you could look at all his other videos and stuff. He's a great guy. He used to be a guest a lot on the Guru channel, but for whatever reason, he has been invited back. I don't know why, because he's intelligent, smart, and he loves the music, and that's what cares. Another good channel, if you here's another good channel for you guys to take a look at, is Crash Course Metal Show. I'm gonna put his link in the chat too. He's a younger guy, but what I appreciate about him is he's younger, so you're getting a point of view from somebody who's like, I don't know how much younger, but he's at least 15 to 20 years younger than I am. So it's very cool to get a perspective on what's making him love the music that we love. So Crash Course Metal Show, check it out. It's another great channel. And again, this is why I'm doing the State of the Union. All that. Professor Rock. Oh yeah, of course, she's a good channel. But I think most people know about Professor Rock, right? Most people know the gigantic channels. So so I don't really look up his videos and try to promote them just because most people know Professor Rock. The channels that I bring up are channels are more like me. We're blue collar. We're expressing why we love these music and the bands that I feel that people should take a look at. We may not be $1 million. We may. I found you because of him. You found me because of Professor Rock. Really? Huh? Did Professor Rock mention me in a video or something? I'm curious. Because I always respected Professor Rock. Or was I in the chat, like typing in something? Yeah, it was in my recommended. Okay, all right. That's I didn't know. That's great. So those are good channels. Of course, with good channels, there are some channels that I lost. Had it about 2 weeks ago. I had a couple channels went after me. It's a totally here. I'm not gonna pull up these channels. There were some channels that went after me. I won't give their names, but one channel said, "You're a fraud." Literally called me a fraud. He goes, your subscriber numbers is all because of your shorts. They're not even your shorts. Like, oh, okay. Am I supposed to apologize on how subscribers subscribe to my channel because of shorts? I apologize. I just because of shorts. Let me show you guys this. There's another. Why a lot of people are subscribed to my channel, and I guarantee it's not for listening to me. Some people don't like the way I sound, and that's fine. That's great. If you don't like the way I sound, hey, more power to you. There's no problem. A lot of reasons. One of the main reasons why a lot of people are subscribed to my channel is, and I understand this. I get this, is because every day I post. Polls every single day. Like I pulled out a poll today. Today so far, 9.7 thousand views on the polls, right? This stuff here is for fun. I do these love seats for fun, like if your band was in it. But I'm going to go back to this one. Now this one only has 8.3 thousand, but this is interesting. I am going to go back to this poll. But look at this poll: 25,000, 21,000, 30,000 votes, 26,000 votes, 19,000 votes, 20,000 votes, 27,000 votes, 18,000, 11,000 for love seats, 11K on that one, which is weird. 21,000, 23,000, 20,000, 31,000. So on average, almost every poll that I put out every single day is about over 20,000, right? And the idea for putting out these polls is not to say one song's better than the other or one album's better than the other. It's about to have a conversation and talk about the bands that we love. That's why I put out the poll. And I get that. These polls are probably the reason why I have the subscriber numbers that I have. But am I supposed to apologize and say, what's the right kind of subscribers you're supposed to have, right? What's the right kind? And this guy literally called me a coward, called me names. And you still clips. I still clips. Most of my shorts are from clips from the 80s and 90s. Of course I wasn't filming those in the 80s. When I put out shorts, it's more for people to remember the good days, and if I put out more of a short that's more closer to nowadays, the ones I usually try to pick a minute out of were ones that aren't giving the channel no more views, right? They already run its course. And what I always did was, if I take a clip of an interview, I put a link back to their channel, right? And this one channel, I did that, stopped getting views and subscribers, but because people are seeing those shorts, they want to see the whole thing. I have helped this one channel gain over 2,000 subscribers. 2,000 subscribers. And they want me to get off. I don't want you to use my clip. Fine, okay, I'll take it off the channel. Fine. I live in this world, and Danny would tell you this, and I'm going to go back and talk about this one for a second, because this is one that was interesting. I come from a world of community. Danny knows this because Danny's been with me with my other channels. Because I've been doing YouTube for about 5 to 10 years. 5 to 10 years. And one of the things that Danny would tell you, that the community from these other channels, we had this respect for one another, right? Danny, you could tell people when I'm telling the truth. And we share each other's videos, right? We share like if they had a fantastic video, if I'm in it or not, and we want people to see it, they're like, yeah, put it on your channel. That's because the idea is we want everybody to discover some of these great videos, like Hairband Basement, right? His blues rock video. He said I could put it on my channel, but usually I wait a week after it's already been on his channel and all that. And once it's done, I'll put it on my channel because we share, because it helps each other to find each other's channels, because to build a community, to build a better world, it takes all of us. That's why we go on each other's channels. But the same guy who was making fun or saying, my subscriber were fake, says, the reason I never put you back on my channel, we had no chemistry. No chemistry. Like, I'm gonna tell you something. If you get yourself a co-host, right? A permanent co-host that's going to be with you for every show. Chemistry is so important. But a panel is about hearing different people's and opinions. Not every person you bring on a panel is going to be the same type of person. But if you really, truly want to have a conversation about an album, you got to stop picking the people who are just like you and start having people to come on that might have a whole total different kind of a view, because that's what's it all about. That's what everything's about, right? It's like some people, they get some, and I've seen this all the time. Danny would tell you, we've seen this all the time. When somebody gets a sponsorship, they get this, they start to become bigger than they think are with the show. And they would have certain people that used to be on their channel, and then then these certain people are not, because they don't have the look they want now. They have to have a certain look, because it has to be, there's one guy who got signed by a record company studio, wanted me too. But they asked me to interview these people and say how great the album is when the album wasn't great. I said, I won't do it. I go, I'll interview these people. I want to know how they made the music. But I'm not going to lie and say an album's great when it's not. Boom. They don't want me? That's great. I don't want people like that. I don't want to be with people like that. Because I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this because I love you guys. We love the music. You know, this is what brings communities together. So again, the reason I brought up those two other channels, because they want to bring the communities together. We want to help each other have fun. And that's what it's all about, people. That's what it's all about. My friend, we all, you know, Richie Blackmore, Catch the Rainbow with Dio. Yep. Love it. I'm sponsored by Slim Jim. And all that. So all I got to say to these other channels, even one channel I helped get 2,000 subscribers. I got them now that channel is making all these shorts because what I show them. But they'll never give me credit for helping them. Never. But you know what I do? I stay away from them. That's why I don't want to even bring up their names, because it's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. No, because we're here for good reasons. We're here because we love the music, right? We love it. So I'm going to ask, a lot of you are here right now that watching this live. The reason we do this live because I want to hear from you. This Friday on my live show, if you guys, what do you guys think the top 5? I'm going to do a top 5 this Friday. Is there a top 5 that one of you guys want to see? Tell me right now. Write it in the chat. Write it in the chat. You know, I saw somebody like Scorpions have a lot of albums. That could be an interesting one. Is there a top 5 you guys want to see? If you don't want to write in the chat, you can email me at, I'm going to put it right here. You can, you know, hair metal revolution at gmail.com. If you guys want to email me, you know, I'm just thinking to myself, you know, these channels or these other channels know who they are. They're probably going to start saying stuff and they're going to twist everything around, but that's what they do. I don't care. So if there's a top 5 worst dressed 80s band like War, Enough's Enough. With Enough's Enough, you can only do them for top 5 songs because they don't have enough albums to do like an actual album. But Enough's Enough, you know, that's Enough's Enough. I always consider like a little bit more of the new wave hair metal, hard rock, because they really had a mix of like some blues in their music, new wave. You know, Enough's Enough was kind of ahead of his time, in my opinion, when they came out. I know they have a dozen albums, but sometimes I try to do where if the majority of their big albums were all in the 80s part, but you know, but Enough's Enough is a very interesting one. So let's look that up. Actually, hold on. Let's do this. I like that. I love. Hold on a second. Let me go to give me 1 second. We're gonna pull it up because I love that. Okay. E. All right. I'm gonna pull screen. Give me a second. This is why I love doing live shows. We're gonna go to music. We're gonna go to Enough's Enough. We're gonna go to albums. So what I was getting at in the core of the 80s, they had an album 85, 89, 91, I guess 93. Yeah, I guess, you know, and of course later 90s. So yes, they have a lot of albums. Usually a lot of times when I do a top 5, I do it where more, you know, 70s and 80s, but Enough's Enough could be in and then And one thing about Enough's Enough, I always love the guy's voice. I forgot his name. And these are, of course, these are top songs. Of course, we all know Flying High Michelle. New Thing is a good song. So yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I have to think about that one. That's not a bad one. Oh, one of the things I wanted to bring up was always been so interesting about doing polls because you learn so much. And what I mean by that is like I did a poll yesterday, and it was the albums that came out in the last part of the 80s, like 89 to the 90s. Warrant, Slaughter, Lean Into It, Damn Yankees. And I've done this before with bands that came out in that part. And even though 8.3 thousand votes aren't bad, but those votes do not line up with like 25,000, 21,000. And the one I put out today is already at 9.7 thousand votes. But when I put the late 80s to 90s albums, you can see just about the amount of people that vote on these drops dramatically. And I've seen that a lot. So it is kind of interesting that it kind of tells you that the hardcore people that are on my channel are more into the earlier 80s and 70s. And listen, I'm not saying anything bad or negative, but I do this once in a while, and it is interesting that any albums from the late 80s and 90s drops dramatically, right? It's one of the things I love about that Warrant album is it was produced by Barry Hill, the one who did all the RATT albums. And I thought that Warrant album was way better than Detonator from RATT that wasn't produced by Barry Hill. So it's kind of like, I love how Barry Hill gets the real. So and all that. So it's kind of interesting, right? I think it's kind of interesting how later albums just don't get the votes. My one I put out this morning is already at 9.7. And of course, it has Van Halen, Ozzy, Def Leppard, AC/DC. I come down here. So every single day, people on this channel, if this is your first time here, every single day on the poll, I put out a brand new poll every single day. And again, it's more about us discussing, the songs, the albums on that list, and kind of just go over and talk about it, right? Yes, you're gonna get some people in the chat or in the comments that's gonna be an ass. We know that. Hey, Doobie. Oh, guys, I did not bring up this channel. I apologize. I brought up, of course, my friend Hairband and Crosh. Another channel that he came on my channel. It's called Flickering Flickering a Box. Great guy. He's such a great guy. I did kind of feel bad for him. He was on my channel. My brother jumped on. He had maybe one or two extra beers that he should have. So he was really feeling good. And when he feels good, he's not. And Doobie, I don't usually do live shows on Monday. Usually on this channel, it's on Tuesdays. But tomorrow, I have a doctor's appointment at 8:30. So 70s to 83 wasn't hair metal to me. And listen. I get it that the channel is called Hair Metal Revolution. The reason it's called hair metal, I mean, I should have called it Hard Rock Revolution. But so many people badmouth the word hair metal. That's why I put it on there. Because the people who badmouth it, I don't want them on this channel. Hard Rock Revolution is a better name. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's not to you. But the hair metal word is more meant to be like, I don't care if you're gonna make fun of the music or not, and all that. And because to me, at the end of the day, take out the stupid word hair metal, glam, take all those words out. To me, it's all rock and roll. It's all rock and roll. Everything, Zach Wilder was explaining about how like a Black Sabbath did this riff that was from a blues band way back in the 50s and 60s, right? They take it, they mix it, they change it. And then another band takes that sound from Black Sabbath, changes it to make their song, and so on, so on. Every music that you hear, every riff that you hear, the person who invented that riff has been inspired by other bands, other riffs, and they kind of mold it and change it themselves. That's why sometimes some songs sound the same, like give me a second. There's nothing wrong with that at all. One of the underrated albums, in my opinion, and this would be the last part in the show, is from an album called Cinderella's Still Climbing. And there's a ballad that they did on here that nobody really talks about. Nobody talks about this ballad because, when people talk about ballads, blah, blah, blah. I want every single one of you who's listening to this right now, listen to the ballad Hard to Find the Words. Not just how Tom Kiefer goes from soft to hard voice. Listen to the music part. Listen to that music part. It's so much Leonard Skinner there. I mean, it's almost like you take Tom Kiefer off, you put the lead singer, the original one who, passed away from the plane crash, or his little brother. It's almost like it's a Leonard Skinner song. And the reason I bring that up, it's influence. It's really influence. And that's the thing with Elvis. Elvis grew up. Elvis was like a lot of us who grew up white trash. I'm not ashamed to say it. I grew up white trash. I'm sorry. We did. Elvis grew up. And when you live in such an atmosphere, you hear down-to-earth music. And Elvis would take that down-to-earth music and mold it into what he was into during that time. Right? And all, because, Elvis wrote a few, but most of his songs are all cover songs. He's all covered, but he mixed it. He took blues, gospel, put it all in there. And of course, he became like king of the world. And of course, Elvis was, people were trying to get him off the air, off the TV, just like any other band. Elvis is one of the original punk rockers, When people talk about punk rockers, Johnny Cash, original punk rocker, Elvis, original punk rocker. A lot of these singers and stuff were people trying to get them off the air. So beyond that, guys, every single month, the first week of the month, we're going to do what I call the State of Hair Metal Nation, where there's no topic involved. I look for a few stories and we just go at it. And wherever we start, we finish. That's the way it is. All right. So beyond that, if you like this channel, guys, if you guys really do, if you enjoy, please subscribe, share it out, tell other people about it, because I want honest, real channels like all ourselves people to come and enjoy, because this is about having fun, freedom. And, I apologize to you. Some people are going to write some negative things on the, in the comments, that's always going to happen. And it's impossible now for myself to look at all the comments and take those out. I only have one guy that I gave him permission, like Danny's that guy. He could go in there and remove, put people in timeouts. But I only do that with one. Oh, my brother too. I'm sorry. Two guys, Airborne? Oh, yeah, I know Airborne. That's a good band right there, my friend. I like them. We're going to have to bring that up as another topic with Airborne. I like that. Beyond that, If you guys want certain top fives, I love the guys thing about Enough's Enough. That's a good one. Maybe I could take that and mold it with something else too, to kind of, with Enough's Enough and all that. But beyond that, guys, I love you all, and I'm so glad. Just share this channel out, tell everybody about it, subscribe, and go to my polls every day. Go to polls, have fun, put your vote in. This channel is all about having fun. That's it. No more. All right. And the reason I put out 2 shorts every day is just for memories of old clips of band members doing old interviews, and those shorts are just for to remember. That's all those shorts are. I usually put 2 out every day just for fun. Guys, I don't make any money on this channel. Only thing I monetize this channel is for people who wants to be subscribers for memberships. That's it. I don't make any commercial money. There's no ads. I don't care about that stuff. All I care is about the music and you guys. So beyond that, I'll see you this Friday on the next live show. I love you all. Talk to you later.
We'll build a brighter future for everyone.